Hey guys, so I wanted to check out the latest Android O developer preview for the Google Pixel phone and compare with the Galaxy S8. I don't think I've compared Google's own phone here with the S8, so I thought this was a good time to see what the latest software does look like and how it compares with the latest TouchWiz, which I don't think is actually called TouchWiz anymore, so we'll just call it the Samsung Experience. But I think generally the latest Android O takes a lot of features from like the Samsung Experience in terms of like the notifications now, the shade looks different and some other things. And when I did boot this up before, it did actually like crash completely, so I don't think it's probably 100% stable to use as a daily driver, but we are going to do a little speed test as well to see how they do compare. Now we can have a look here at the actual software then. So first things first, you can see we do have a white kind of notification shade now. Again, this seems to be coming straight from the Samsung Experience. I mean, they're barely, you can't see the difference between them. Yes, this one's got like black accents, but they are literally morphing into each other. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'll leave that up to you to decide. We do have the ability to customize things still, like direct tiles, etc. And I think you can change where the brightness slider is on the Samsung Experience. You can see we have it at the top here with the Pixel and the bottom on the Samsung. Another interesting feature which has come on is like these little dots that appear against apps such as the Play Store apps when you have something to update or there's a notification. So we'll just see if we can get it to come on here. So let's just download something, because it's not coming on at the moment, but there we go. Can you see that? So we have two little dots there, one near the Play Music, one near the Play Store, which I think again comes from the Samsung Experience here. And if you long hold the actual icon, you can see we do have a new things you can do with the Force Touch feature, such as like going into the widgets quickly here. You can actually see the notification of what the little dot relates to as well, so you can go into that and see it's been installed. So that is a pretty nice feature. I think it's definitely long overdue. Other things to mention here, it looks pretty different in terms of the settings area. I have noticed, like for example, when I was going into the display area to change like the auto time off, you can see they've compacted it all now a little bit, so it's less all in your face. You can expand it though and get all the kind of settings you do know and love. The actual settings do look pretty different actually compared to how they were before. We just compare here with Samsung. You can see it's again very similar in terms of the user interface, a little bit more colourful on the Samsung Experience, but you can see you still get more options. I think when it comes to Samsung in terms of like the screen resolution changing, I don't think they've implemented that yet, which is unfortunate. It would be nice if they did. I think also you can see we do have like more gestures and stuff that you can do with the Samsung Experience. So nevertheless, I've always commented that it's interesting how the stock Android experience seems to be coming into the Samsung Experience more and more every year. And soon it'll probably be difficult to tell them apart, but nice update nevertheless. Definitely worth checking out if you want to get it on your device. So let's just do a little performance comparison here, so you can see if there's any differences. So we're going to just open up a few apps I have installed and see what the performance is like here. So let's just get rid of everything first, make sure it's fair. And gotta say, the Samsung just makes the Pixel look very out of date in terms of the borders, etc. They fit in so much phone, nearly the same size as the Pixel. It's ridiculous, but nevertheless, we can see here that I think the Pixel is still among the fastest kind of experience you can get on Android. Going into stuff is very nice and smooth generally, and we do have some third-party apps, so you can see nice and fast here on the left. And this is obviously not the finalized software, so when it is finalized, it's probably even better overall. So do we have Uber? Yes, we do. So you can see we do get some pop-ups, but generally I think you'll find that the performance is very comparable. If you've got a Pixel XL or Pixel you're not going to see a massive difference in terms of the performance overall. So that wouldn't be personally my reason to upgrade to an S8. I think the main reason I would upgrade to an S8 is just basically the form factor, which is mind-blowingly good. Let's have a look at the games here. So I have noticed there is a slightly better performance when it comes to game loads because of the very fast architecture in these new phones compared to the older architecture. But you can see it's still very competent here, keeping up with nearly keeping up with the best, but not quite. What else do we have? We do have GTA. So we're going to see as well the multitasking after this. See if it's any good on Android O. So we gave the Pixel a head start then, and it still couldn't meet the S8. So in terms of the raw performance, you can see here who is the boss overall. What else do we have? Do we have? Yes, we do have the Sim City, which is nice. So this is probably what I mean by the instability. You can see there's nothing happening here with this on the Pixel. So probably worth keeping on. Oh, it's come there. Keeping on your main software for now. But let's have a look at the multitasking. We do have a few open here. Let's have a look at if it keeps them in memory. So you can see a little bit snappier to go into the camera on the left there. In fact, they all look to be a little bit snappier on the Pixel when it comes to the multitasking, which is nice to see. And we do like some multitasking here. But then again, I think for the next Pixel, I would like to see 6 gigs of RAM, because Android gets more and more complicated as the years go by, and you do need the hardware grunt to back it up here. But generally, you can see the actual the Pixel is meeting the S8 when it comes to the performance, which is good, and that it will be very well received by those of you who don't like Samsung experience and want to stick with the Pixel. But it is a little bit slower overall, and as I said, it might not be 100% stable. If it did crash when I tried to start it up the first time completely, like the logo went mad. But interesting nevertheless, the morphing of the stock Android into the Samsung experience continues, and I'll probably do some other videos on it if anyone wants to see that. Hope you enjoyed this comparison, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.